No puddles. Okay, what else? Okay, let's step away. We got puddles. What else are we looking for? What makes puddles? There we go. We're looking for leaks in the engine or transmission. So it's not leaning. There's no puddles and leaks from the engine or transmission. So what about the lenses now? Proper color, pressure, proper color. I don't know how to matter. Looking back now for all I don't know. But according to the sheets, it is proper color, clean, not broken, not missing. Okay? And as you're looking at the front, you're looking at your headlights, your turn signals, your clearance lights, and putting aside stupid lights that they have on the mirrors. Basically, it boils down to those four things: proper color, clean, not broken, not missing. Now, if you want to feel special next to it, it is clear and ample front. One of them is cooler. So, the next step would be our fluids. We're just going to I'll come over here because I know the coolant's over here. I'll check this in with the freaking day. So, your coolant, your power steering fluid, and your oil have to be between add and full. Those are the three main fluids you want to talk about, that you want to know about.
You said engine oil, coolant, and power steering.
That's correct. Those are the three fluids you want to make sure you're checking. Okay. So, obviously, this is your dipstick. This is where you put oil in if it needs it. This is your power steering, and yes, your coolant's on the other side. And that's all right, because some of these trucks have a coolant reservoir that's all metal that you actually have to take the cap off and shine a flashlight down in to see. I know. Again, I'm the one that checks them. So, this is your power steering gearbox. Okay? Mounted securely, not leaking. Simple, effective. Your links, rods, and arms. Okay? That would be this, this, and that. They're not loose or worn. Okay? Your joints and sockets. That's a joint, this is a joint, this is a socket. Joints and sockets. They're not worn or loose. Your power steering hoses, which would be the hoses most likely coming from the power steering fluid to the power steering gearbox.
Right.
They're connected securely. They're not cracked, frayed, or worn, or leaking. There's also no missing nuts, bolts, or cotter keys, or pins. You can say castle nuts. I don't care what you say with it. Just as long as we get them all. As long as it's nuts, bolts, and cotter keys in some variation. Okay? That's it for your steering system. Okay? So what do we have right next to the steering system? We have our leaf springs. So we have our suspension system. So the leaf springs, they're not cracked, shifted, broken, bent, or missing. Your leaf spring mounts, which are the connection points on either end, cannot be cracked, broken, or missing any parts. And they probably should be mounted securely. Okay? What is not on the test is the U-bolts have to be mounted securely. There's also not. What's that?
Where's the U-bolts at?
Right there. It's literally shaped like a U holding the leaf spring on.
Okay.
Then you have your shock absorber, which again is not on the test, but it is preferred that people speak about it on the state test.
What was that last term?
Shock absorber.
Shock absorber.
Shock absorber. And that is mounted securely, not broken, not leaking. So from there we come to the brakes, which I can't see because this thing's in my way, but so your brake hoses, same as your power steering hoses. They're not cracked, worn, frayed, or leaking. The difference here is your couplings and fittings is how they're connected. Your couplings and fittings are secured. The only other thing you need to know about your brakes is you want to look in your shoes and drums to make sure there's no grease or oil. Those are your brake contaminants. Anything that would reduce your capability of braking. So, the next thing is your tires. So, first thing you're going to check your tire for is proper inflation. You're going to use a truck tire gauge. Since we're using a truck tire gauge, we're also going to check the valve stem to make sure it's not broken or damaged, and make sure the valve cap is not missing. On your tires, you want to make sure there's no bumps, bulges, no cuts, no damage that exposes body plies, i.e. wire.
4/32 of an inch.
You want to check your tread depth with a tread depth gauge. Yes, you have to have no less than 4/32 of an inch on your steering tire.